Shalom, shalom. All right, first and foremost, before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that root well. Peace and salutation to the Akim that's pushing his word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth, waking up the hopeful elect and risking your lives and freedoms to do so. Definitely more so now than ever before. This is the brother Zion Ahmad from the GMS Detroit by Camp. And this is going to be a lesson dealing concerning what's currently in the news, all right, regarding Uganda. As you can see on the screen, Uganda passes an anti-Mo bill, all right, if you know what I mean, right? They passed this anti-Mo bill, right? And you have the world that's basically, they're giving an outcry against it, and simply put, because all nations take on the philosophy of America, everyone, all of these countries, all of these nations follow after America, all right? And just to get that scripture to highlight that point, all right? Because, see, there's no one that's standing up for righteousness except for the hopeful elect. All right, the Israelites that go out on the highways and byways and push this word, hell, the scriptures say to hate the evil and love the good. So what Uganda is doing is really a righteous thing, right? They're establishing order, right? Hell, they're establishing the scriptures, all right? But see, this is the reason, right? Case in point, why we have to exit this place. We have to escape. We have to get the hell out of Babylon, all right? Because hell, it's like this America is opposed to doing what's right, because you have to have a so-called white man that's leading the reins, Esau Edom, all right, and he's made, okay, as a vessel of wickedness, a vessel, all right, ultimately to be destroyed, all right, so he can't do right, all right, he wasn't designed or created to do the right thing. He was designed to be the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right. But real quick, let's see. This is Jeremiah 51 and verse 7, and it reads, "Babylon have been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand." All right, Babylon, all right, which is the place of America. All right. America is in the scriptures, all right? But it's known as Babylon. The Lord calls it Babylon. Why? Because this is the place of confusion. This is the land of confusion, all right? And it doesn't get no more confusing with men wanting to be with other men, right? And likewise the women, that is against nature, that is counterproductive, all right? You cannot procreate, all right? You cannot produce a life, all right, out of such things, The Lord told Adam and Eve to be fruitful and to multiply, meaning to have sex, all right? Right? Sex can only be defined as between a man and a woman. Anything else is it's bizarre. It's not sex at all. It's just lust, But reading on here, it says, "Babylon had been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken." That's right. All these other nations that come to America or that follow after America, they are drunk off the philosophies, all right? All right? When it speaks of being drunk, that's what it's pertaining to. Different ideologies and philosophies that come out of or stem out of America. All right. Case in point, religion. All right. You can worship any religion. You can worship any God you want. You can create your own God. You can marry whatever hell you want to marry. You can marry a goddamn balloon. All right. And people will praise you for it. You can marry a teddy bear. Hell, you can marry a tree. And it's like, the philosophy of America is do as thou wilt. Right? Do what you want to do what make you feel good. Right? it's no harm to me, right? And that's the speech of 2/3 of our people. They always lean upon that, all right? When you try to establish righteousness, it's always the thing of what does that have to do with you? Well, hell, everything, because hell, you're supposed to be your brother's keeper, meaning you're supposed to, keep guard over people that come from the same stock as you, because maybe they're ignorant, maybe they don't know any better, so you're supposed to teach them the right way, the right thing, But reading on, it says, the nations are drunken of her wine. See, the wine, all right, pertains to the philosophies, all right? It's Salaki. All right, it says, therefore, the nations are mad. That's right. They have lost their damn mind. These nations are they're not even, they're not themselves, right? Take, for example, like Moab. Moab over here in Americas, and even in their own land now, at this point in time, they act just like the so-called white man, right? They eat American food, right? They dress like the so-called white man, right? To partake in any of his, to basically have a seat, right, at these summits and all that. What they have to do, they have to speak English, right? If one of their people wants to be a pilot, and fly for whatever certain airline they have over there in China, all right, they still have to speak English, all right, because you have to be able to communicate with the people that's in charge, all right, because Esau is the prince of the power of the air, so he controls, air traffic control, all right. He controls all that, all right, ultimately pursuant to Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, all right, so he runs everything, all right, you name it, all right, his hand, his tentacles is in every facet of life, so whatever you want to do, you have to get that permission, all right, you have to be granted by the so-called white man, all right, Esau, Edom, so when going into this article, like I say, you have a lot of these other nations that's, in an uproar. They feel that this is too harsh, that this is bizarre, that they should offer some leniency or all this madness, you know what I'm saying? But in actuality, Uganda is doing a righteous thing. All right, let's read some of this. It says, as reported by Time, right, first of all, Uganda passes, the Mobile. It says, as reported by Time, Uganda's parliament in Kampala on Tuesday passed a bill that will make it a crime to identify as L to the Q. It says legislation described by the United Nations Human Rights Chief as probably among the worst of its kind in the world. The anti-Mo bill introduced several new regulations that will see anyone who is openly happy, as well as advocates for the L to the Q rights, severely punished. The new bill proposes the death penalty for those convicted of aggravated, Moism, meaning sexual acts with minors or people with disabilities or with HIV. 20 years in prison for committing the offense of being a Mo. It says, and 10 years in prison for attempting to commit a sexual act. And hell, for them to have any time, that's already being lenient as is, because in actuality, according to the scriptures, they are supposed to receive a death sentence. Alright? Their blood should be upon them. Alright? They did it to themselves. Right? Because they got caught up in the lust, right, and the cares of the flesh, to where they couldn't control themselves. around another man, or a woman being around another woman. That is off. You know what I'm saying? Let's get that. Let's see. First of all, this is Deuteronomy 23 and 17. It says, there shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel. All right, meaning, the women of our nation, they're not supposed to be, making themselves a prostitute. Ultimately, they shouldn't be committing adultery. All right, because from you bouncing from man to man to man 100 times over. All right, hell, you are a prostitute. Right, you are a whore. All right, if you had relations with more than one man, according to the scriptures, you are a whore, because you're only supposed to know one man if you're a woman. All right, it is what it is. It says, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. All right, sodomite, going into, well, you should know. You should know what that is. Sodomite meaning men that, take it up the rear end, all right, and call it sex. Another scripture. I want to say that's in Leviticus. Let me see if I can get the precept to this. Let's see what it gives us. Let's read this. What does this say? It said there should be the prohibition in the text, like many others, has no direct application to practices that were common among the Israelites at that time, but was intended to guard them against the enormities which were practiced among the surrounding nations. Right. All right. Hey, the Lord made us a holy people, being separate. All right. We weren't supposed to be like the other nations, because these are the things the other nations were doing. All right, that women were made whores. All right, dealing with those nasty, filthy, Canaanites. All right, Hittites, Jebusites. All them ites. They was all into that, obscure lifestyle. All right, and we were supposed to practice or do anything that they were doing. So that's why the Lord gave us laws. He gave us a way to live, a way to abide by. All right. Let's do it this way. Yeah, this is Leviticus 20. I said 19. It was actually 20. This is Leviticus 20 and verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, all right, both of them have committed an abomination, meaning a filthy, vile, disgusting thing. All right, this is in the eyes of the Lord. The Lord look at this as filthy, and it's no coincidence that it brings a host of diseases. You know what I'm saying? Because it's to show you that, hey, this ain't right. It says they shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. Meaning they did it to their own self. Let's read this in the NLT. layman's terms, it says, if a man practices homo, I don't want to get this video taken down because, the algorithm is on one these days. It says, having sex with another man as with a woman, both men have committed a detestable act. They must both be put to death, for they are guilty of a capital offense. That's right. So, is Uganda doing anything wrong according to scriptures? Hell to the no. They're doing everything right, for what it's worth. It says, let's see here. The bill now heads to Uganda President Yoweri Museveni, who can veto it or sign it into law. The legislation has received worldwide condemnation, with National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby stating that Uganda could face economic repercussion if it's economic repercussions if it's made law. So basically, these other nations gonna give them hell if they do the right thing. All right, basically gonna cut them off. All right, from most likely exporting, whatever that they're chief in exporting. Probably do something to their currency. Just basically sabotage them to where they can't maintain their economy, and that's how the white man operate, man. He's a devil. All right, he's a devil. Hey, the man that comes out of after the workings of Satan. He do everything Satan would do. It says, now here it says why it matters. The new bill is the latest in Uganda's crackdown against, the happy lifestyle. It says the L to the Q community had already been facing discrimination before Tuesday. Hold on 1 second. Before Tuesday's bill in 2013, same-sex acts became outlawed with the punishment of life imprisonment. Following this, suicide rates in the community increased. The newest bill is good, And see, since they can't have it their way, they just offer themselves. They commit suicide because they can't do as they would want to, in Uganda. And hey, good riddance. They good for nothing anyway. But hey, the Lord gave up certain people, to this vile affection, as the scriptures say. And it's basically just an example, all right, of how not to be, what not to do. When the Lord, shows wickedness, those are just examples, all right, for us to learn from. All right, it says the newest bill could see further discrimination and a possibility of mass violence against those who identify as L to the Q. Hey, it is what it is. And see, and this is just why we gotta leave, because see, all right, in the kingdom of heaven, the law is going to be administered, all right? These same laws, all right, that we reading right here and now, all right? The Bible ain't going nowhere, all right? So therefore, the law, statutes, commandments ain't going nowhere. They're here to stay, all right? And these are right laws. These are the ways, all right, to govern the earth, to keep people in check, to show you and to teach you right from wrong. All right, so we won't be having none of that type of thing going on in the kingdom of heaven. And if so, hey, whoever have the thought They're going to be made example by being put to death, right? And that's how you breed out wickedness, all right? When people see that there's a judgment, a harsh judgment at that, all right, that turns wickedness away, all right, from the onlookers, you know. That's how you keep, you know, wickedness out of the nation of Israel. Let's see. Now, I found this interesting. I picked this article in particular because I found it funny that they put these two articles together in one. All right, because this is how Esau operates. You know, he always, if you're doing something he don't like, all right, and he can't win the argument, and then what is he gonna do? He's going to impose his smear campaign. All right, he's going to what's the word? He's going to accuse you. You know, he's going to make all these type of accusations and say, see, look, see, these people can't be trusted. So to build a narrative as for the whole world, you know, to hate, all right, said individual, all right, if you follow what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, you'll be doing something right, but to him is wrong in his eyes. So he'll accuse you of, you know, this, that, and the third, to basically put a cloud over your righteousness, you know. So here in this story, it says Nigerian politician convicted in UK for organ trafficking. All right, and I found it just funny that they coupled this story with the, you know, with what we just read, you know, dealing with Uganda. Now, mind you, Uganda and Nigeria are nowhere close to each other. Just get a map. You know what I'm saying? They're both in Africa, yes, but these are two different countries that's far apart. All right, but see, Jake would know that, you know. These dumb Americans most likely don't know that. Hell, they don't know shit about their own country. You know what I'm saying? But see, they put this together and put these images in front of you to basically to put a like I say, to put a cloud on Uganda, you know, coming out with this anti-mobile. You know what I'm saying? So with the people of Nigeria, these people they have on the screen here, with them doing something, how can I say, just as dead wrong as this, you know, because organ trafficking, that's off. But where do they get that from? They get that from the so-called white man. The so-called white man is the king of organ trafficking and sex rings and you name it. All right, but if any other nation does it, you know what I'm saying, and he can spin the story the right way, he gonna be all over it. You know what I'm saying? He's always the guy that points the finger, all right, but he never acknowledges, all right, the weakness that he does. You know, that's Esau's get down. All right, and let me just get it, because this is exactly how he operates. The accuser of our brethren. Now, I'm not saying that Uganda, well, I'll just say it this way. I don't know if the people of Uganda are Israelites, but just according to the curses, there are definitely Israelites scattered amongst those people, as there are Israelites scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. You know, you have our people that look like all nations on the planet, right? Because after the rulership of King Solomon, right, the kingdom was split in two, right? 10 tribes, you know, 10 tribes making up the northern tribe, all right, and the 3 tribes dealing with Judah, Benjamin, Levi making up the southern tribe, all right. And in the process of time of going through all these different captivities, all right, being the Persians and the Medes, being the Greeks, being the Romans, all right, hell, now even America, all right, Rome 2.0, all right, we've been scattered everywhere, all right? And so much time has transpired, right? You have our people that literally look like the other nations, all right? But anyway, just the fact remains that, you know, this is how Esau operates, right? He controls the media, so he has all the power, okay, to put his spin on it, all right? He always makes sure that he gets in front of the narrative to control the narrative, you know? But real quick, this is Revelation 12. And 10, and it reads, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his Hamashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down. And the accuser of our brethren is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. The same man, all right, that controls the media, the same man that you know as the elites or the Illuminati, all right? These are the people, all right, that's controlling the earth, all right? That puts, you know, accusations that put our people and anyone for that matter in a negative light to basically gain control, you know. It says, which accuse them before our power day and night, every day. Right, this devil got something to say, all right, about the Israelites, all right, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, you know. Let's read some of this. It says, CBS News reported on Thursday that a court in the UK convicted a senior Nigerian politician and his wife of attempted organ trafficking after bringing a 21-year-old man to England from Nigeria, right, with the intention of getting their 25-year-old daughter a new kidney. It says Senator Ike Ekweremadu, his wife Beatrice, and Dr. Abana Obida, a middleman, were found guilty of conspiring to exploit the victim for his kidney. Prosecutors said the 21-year-old street trader was offered basically around $8,500 and opportunities within the UK. The operation was to take place in a nearly $100,000 operation in London's Royal Free Hospital. But it was only when the man was brought to the hospital and met the doctors that he realized what was happening. Investigators began to probe what happened when the victim ran away from London to a neighboring county, where police found him sleeping in a train station and in distress. You know, so see, they're trying to put a light on this. All of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, exactly around the same time, right, this news come out, all right, concerning, you know, the anti-happy bill. You know what I'm saying? And you can't make this up, man. And this is what Esau does time and time again, you know. But that's okay, man. America is circling the drain. All right, the economy is crashing. Every like, this place is done. You know, you can clearly see it's done. You know, all this pollutants in the air. You know what I'm saying? Your food. You right? The crops are not they're not you know, they're not giving their full potential. You know what I'm saying? You buy vegetables and fruits and whatnot, and it's like, hell, it's already rotten in the store. You know what I'm saying? And if not that, it soon decays. It's like you buy something one day, and the next day is no good, or 2 days from the time you purchase it is no good. It's just the earth, is crying out. You know what I'm saying? And this place needs a new leadership. All right, and this is why we cry and beg and plead to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, all right, to deliver us, right, to deliver us from the hands of these devils. All right. That's why the scriptures say that the Heavenly Father is going to set up one that's profitable. All right, Sirach, the 10th chapter, because this devil, he's a physician of no value. He doesn't know what he's doing. All right, everything that comes from this devil equals death. You know what I'm saying? He pushes death culture, right? And that's why he's happy, right, to push forth that wine of, men with men and women with women, because then again, see, that's more accusations that he can bring upon our people to tell the Heavenly Father, like, look at your people, look at their conditions, look at what they're doing. Right? They're not worshiping you, right? They're not keeping none of your laws, statutes, commandments. They're worshiping me, i.e. the so-called white man. Basically cast them down, and just forget about them. But hey, the Lord made his promise, that he's not going to forsake the nation of Israel, right? And that's why there's a remnant, right, that will be saved, right? The 144,000 men, right, of the nation of Israel, right? And also 1/3 of that same nation dealing with, the women and children, So, I'm going to just pretty much leave it at that, This devil just breeding wickedness by the day. But, Lord willing, this was edifying. With that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem Kakwadash. Give my honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to the Akim that's pushing his word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom.